A very good day to you. Welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jadel Kabiro. Absolutely excited as usual to have you for political conversations that are very simple, truthful and balanced with Professor Herman Manyora, who puts them across in a hard-hitting way. You're recovering well, I see.
Yes.
Everything is fine. Umerudi.
Nani Mungu.
Ni Mungu.
Nani maombi.
Na maombi.
Yes.
Just like Ruto's presidency.
Yes.
Let's talk about the opposition and talk about President William Ruto too. You said in our previous video, you're inviting trouble, President Ruto. You said he's detaching himself from the people. I'm looking, does this give leeway to opposition as it is? Because it has always been this way. When you look at President Uhuru Kenyatta, he was failing and people are saying this, because he's failing, opposition can get something and they might get into power. Cleopas Malala says they will beat Raila, if anyone else that will run in 2027, fair and square, getting 3/4 of the votes. Is a situation we will see, or we're going to see a different elections than before?
Politics is politics. You can't turn politics into something. It's just politics. Today you are doing very well, tomorrow something's changed. Who would have known things would go the way they went? If you asked anybody at some point. So in 2027, Ruto could win hands down, but he could also lose badly. Yes.
Just look at the state of politics, but you also look at the state of the opposition too, and you begin to wonder if they failed last year.
Yes.
Is there anything they can do to get things right in 2027, even if you look at the personalities that are there?
You know, in 2027 for the opposition, if they reduce that election to an individual, let Raila go the last time, let's support Kalonzo. Let it be so and so, they will lose.
Okay.
They must make it a movement. Ruto must face a united movement. Okay. United in anger against his government. So that who is at the head of that movement, the presidential candidate, is not as important as it would otherwise be.
Is that what that was last year when you look at the movement AZIMIO or more?
Not quite so.
Bringing people together?
Not quite so. You see, in fact, they're the ones who are swimming upstream. Yes. The anger was against Uhuru and AZIMIO and Raila. So Raila's movement was swimming upstream. So they must be the one swimming now with the current.
Okay.
And identifying specifics that make people annoyed with Ruto.
Could this be the reason why they're not having dialogue as we thought? Because maybe they're saying if we get into this position where we have dialogue and we get to a consensus with the government, we'll not have the politics right. Could this be a good reason?
It's possible. It's possible. You see another thing, you know, politics is forever evolving because it's very dynamic. You start here and then you realize if we continue on this trajectory, we are likely to fail. And therefore you change tact, and you move in another direction. What I foresee mostly happening is that this opposition against Ruto will not come from politicians per se. It will be perhaps at the very best politicians harnessing the national anger against the government.
Okay.
No government in the world, no kingdom, no empire has ever survived the conscious anger and the bitterness of its people. You know, people can suffer. You know, there's something people don't seem to understand.
Yeah.
People in a kingdom can be serfs, like in Russia, or slaves or peasants, and then for hundreds of years, providing free labor to their masters. You get it?
Yeah.
Sending their children to war to die. For hundreds of years. They are basically slaves. They put their lives down for the king. But the moment they become conscious that we are suffering, and they can count 1, 2, enumerate 1, 2, 3, pain coming their way, and link that pain to the system no system ever survives. It has never survived anywhere in the world.
How do you strike a balance if you're the president and you know the whole world is suffering, not just in Kenya, and you need to get things right? How do you strike this balance so that people can see that we're going towards the right direction and we're not alone?
You don't lose the people.
How do you do it?
You don't go out of your way like Ruto to lose the people.
Because you have to fix the economy according to Ruto. How do you do it without...
Whatever you are doing, it must be for the people. You can't say you are doing things for the people and the same people are dying. Once you lose the people, you have lost the game.
Do you think he could have done things differently? Because he says the coffers were empty. We all know the debt burden that was there. How could he have done things differently so that he can raise revenue for his government?
On top of everything that you need to do if you are a government like Ruto, is never to lose the people. Period. Do whatever you want to do. However painful it is to the people, but never lose them. When there's a disconnect between you and the people, you are gone. That's what Ruto is continuously doing.
So you prefer he goes the subsidy way as Uhuru did?
It's not necessarily.
Is it that simple?
I spoke simple English and said, whatever it is you want to do. I even added, however painful, so long as you remain with the people. So you should ask yourself, how is the president losing the people? The president is losing the people in a number of ways and for a number of reasons. Top on the list is saying you don't have money, you have inherited coffers, and you are using like, I don't know how much in a day for entertainment in State House. Your government is out of the country in huge delegations every day. You yourself, you are roaming the country if you are not out of the country, spending huge amounts of money. You are creating unnecessary offices that will consume unnecessary amounts of money. You see that disconnect?
Yeah.
So you cannot convince people you inherited a broke economy. You cannot convince people that this country is suffering because of our borrowing when you yourself are now borrowing more than Uhuru Kenyatta. You see that disconnect?
Yeah.
So you lose the people in that way. You get it?
So what should the opposition do now? Because
and then you begin to put measures in place. And the people question, are they really necessary? It looks like your intention is just to punish us. Yeah, you just want to punish us.
But what should the opposition do? Because we are looking at the opposition and saying we don't want them to go the Maandamano way, they might destroy the country. And for themselves, they also want to fix the politics for 2027. How should you create this balance?
It's not a very easy balance. And that's why I've been very categorical. Raila and Ruto will have find a way of sitting down and creating a national conversation that goes beyond them, that then produces a national charter, which we use as a people to move forward. But you either do it now, or you'll be forced into it.
Will that help the politics for the opposition side? If they come up with that charter?
At that point, is not for the opposition or for government, it's for the country. Look here, once you fix that, because part of that national conversation is how we get it wrong during elections. And this getting wrong during election is costing us economically, but finally it will destroy the country. So if you fix that during the national conversation, everybody should celebrate, because if an election were called, that national conversation can say we don't wait for 2027.
How many national conversations do we need? There was the national accord, there was the handshake, there was the BBI, none of which seem to fix the...
Every time you make a step, another time you make a step. Unfortunately, sometimes you make 2 steps forward, 3 backwards. And that's what should inform the national accord. Our collective experiences and memories and the pain as a people, where we have gone wrong. This is what will feature in that conversation. And you see, let me give you a good example. You know, when you are coming from a painful past, pain can make you come with quick fix solutions, like the 2010 Constitution. You can even run away from a past that was not as bad as it was. You see, we took Moi to represent our past. So when we are talking of the president, we were running away from Moi.
And that's why people compare Moi with Ruto.
So then you come with solutions in the excitement that the moment has come for us to change things. In that excitement, you come up with a useless constitution like the 2010 constitution.
Not that useless, we must agree. It has really made strides when it comes to independence.
Me, I didn't vote for it because I saw the things I saw. You see, look, we were so trusting. I looked at this draft constitution. I said, this one, this one you are depending on who is a good president. At the time, people thought Raila would be the president. Then you will implement the constitution. Then this country will be a wonderful place. I looked at the offices we created. Supreme Court, independent police. I said, is it as simple as just saying, let there be a judiciary and a Supreme Court? I could see you needed more than that. Today we know better. All these commissions and institutions we created, they are not serving us. We say independent police. So you do what? Where police service? You changing from? I saw someone saying on some social media clip from force to service. Where is the service? We thought Supreme Court will solve our problems. All these things we created, they have not. So now I'm saying, this is sometimes what informs people when they are looking for a way forward. So that now we know it is not just an institution or a commission. It is the people in that commission. It is how well insulated from executive. We were barely a couple of days into the new dispensation when Uhuru just took it upon himself to mess the entire police service. Nobody has talked about it. We thought it would be a very difficult thing for the president to interfere in who becomes the Inspector General of Police. So when I say this constitution to me was not quite a serious constitution, I will defend it as a citizen. It's my civic duty as a citizen to defend the constitution. But it's also my duty as an individual to criticize an institution I feel should do better for the people of this country. So and that will include the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. When
you look at these demands from Azimio, do you then mean that despite all these demands, the first thing they should be looking at is this national charter? Is this what the opposition should be pushing
without a national
for
charter,
now?
Without a national charter, we will never move forward. Never. When did we hold elections?
22 August.
How far are we from August? A month or so? Which means a year is gone. Is it gone?
Yes.
If we were to do so well, assuming by some miracle, Raila and Uhuru sorted out their problem, we would have wasted more than a year, okay? And a year or two later, we will be into the election mood. So every 5 years, if we are going to be working for 2 years, can you grow the economy like that? Can you create employment? And therefore, the national charter is to ensure that we play what I want to call just normal politics that comes periodically, with the elections being held, the winners being declared, the losers going home, trying next time, and the citizens, through various agencies, including civil society, remaining vigilant to make sure the democracy doesn't die. That's what I'm calling normal democracy. So if we cannot normalize our democracy, there can never be any development in this country.
All right.
There can never be any. No, absolutely none. And we shall remain, unfortunately, a poor,
dirty, third world country. Until we do talk again, thank you for tuning in. My name is Gerald Kabir here with Herman Manyora. And thank you so much for everybody that has been supporting us. As you can see, we're changing sets, we're getting lights, we're getting cameras. We do appreciate everything that you're doing for us. Keeping these productions is not that simple. That's why we do appreciate the numbers that are on the screen. You can support us if you can, if you will, if you may. Thank you so much. Have yourself a lovely rest of your day.